Hey everyone, what is going on, and welcome back to today's video. And in today's video we're jumping into a operator tier list. I've done a few of these before, but I did one for attack, one for defense. So in today's video we're going to go over the Operation Steel Wave updated tier list, but with every operator in one, so attack and defense. And yeah, we're just going to bring this all together and we're going to see what you guys think. So I have 5 ranks right here that I'm going to be tiering all these operators in. It's going to start off with must have, pretty cracked, I'll take it, why are you playing them, and what rank is this? So that's going to be the 5 tiers that we're going to put all these operators in. And without further ado, we're going to dive into putting these operators in tier list. But just before we dive into it, make sure to leave a like and a sub on this video, because it will really appreciate it. I will really appreciate it, and it will really help out my channel. This is probably going to be a long one, so strap yourselves in. Without further ado, let's hop into the operator tier list for Operation Steel Wave. And just quickly, this is me talking after I finished the video. The video ended up being 50 minutes long of me talking about every operator. So I've decided to split the video into 2 parts. One I'm going to upload tonight, Saturday, and the other one I'm going to upload on Monday after the Ashe guide on Sunday. So that is going to be me splitting the 2 parts up. This may be annoying to some of you, but I feel like it's probably better to split up into 2 25-minute episodes instead of a big 50-minute video, because honestly, some people aren't going to want to watch all that, and some people might want to watch all that, so splitting it up into 2 is probably just going to be the best. So I hope this is still okay for you guys, but just a little warning, this is probably going to cut about halfway through all of the operators, and then the next part will be up. So if you want to watch it all in one, wait till Monday, and if you want to just watch part by part, this is always going to be here since tonight. So just a little word of warning, I did split it up because a big 50-minute video probably isn't going to last most of you guys, because that's very long, so I decided to split it up. Anyway, let's dive into the video. Alright, so first on the list we do have Tachanka. Now, last time I did make a specific tier for Tachanka, but I know this is going to be very disrespectful to some of you, and I can already see the comments coming in now, but if we're going to be completely honest and think logistically, if someone's playing Tachanka in the rank game, you're going to ask, what rank is this? So that's why I'm going to put Tachanka in the bottom tier. As we all know, he is not very useful at the moment, but with his recent buff coming, he definitely has potential to upgrade his character, but we just have to wait and see what's going to happen with him. But for now, we're just going to have to roll out with he's a bottom tier operator. You never want to be in one position in Rainbow Six Siege, because you'll just get fused, you'll get destroyed, you'll get breached, you'll get everything, and that's literally what Tachanka's character implies. So I just don't recommend playing Tachanka whatsoever. And yeah, if you see a Tachanka on your team, I guarantee you, if you are somewhat like, I don't know, if you're just sitting there, something's going to phase through your mind is going to be, what rank is this? Alright, so coming in next we have Legion. Now Legion, I think Legion is a pretty solid tier operator. He brings a good weapon to the team. He brings a useful gadget that can give you good intel and can also help you out. So yeah, Legion, pretty cracked. That's where I'm going to put Legion on this list. I think he definitely deserves to be there, and he belongs there. But yeah, he brings a lot of utilization to the team, and in my Legion guide I did go over this. Make sure to go check that out. But it's just his ability is way more useful than you think, because it gives you intel, it slows the enemy down and they can't plant. It gives you a loud sound. Again, I already said that pretty much, but all around he's just a great operator to bring to the team in my opinion, and you should definitely try and bring him if you have him. So up next we have Capcan. Now Capcan is kind of like a Legion, but I feel like, I don't know, his traps, obviously Legion's traps are invisible, and a lot of people check for Capcans more, but he does bring a solid weapon to the team and his gadget, but I'm honestly going to say Capcan is about an I'll take it. I think he belongs to be about that position. I don't think he deserves any higher. I'm probably going to say those 2 words a lot in this video, but I think he just deserves to be there, in my opinion. He's kind of like a meh operator. He's like, I'll take it. So if someone plays Capcan, I'm not going to get mad. Obviously, it's going to weaken the enemies if they don't shoot the Capcan traps, and obviously he's a 2-speed. He's not completely useless. He has potential to be solid, but I don't know. He's kind of just his operator build is not the greatest, and it's not anything above I'll take it. So coming in next, we have Warden. Now, Warden is just straight up, what rank is this? Most people that play Warden are usually playing him as a joke, or just to try and prove their point that he's actually useful, but there is basically no situations where your glasses will ever come in handy, so you're basically just playing an operator with an MPX, which, by the way, is a bit of a pea shooter, and unless you're a crack gun who only hits headshots, it's not going to really help you out whatsoever, and you're probably going to lose your gunfights against an R4C Ashe main. But yeah, other than that, I'd say there's just no usefulness for Warden. He's just absolutely fucking useless, and that's about all I have to say about Warden. Now coming in with Knock, again, pretty useless in my opinion, but I don't think she's this rank. I just baited you guys. I reckon I'd put Knock about why are you playing them? I definitely question why someone's playing Nock, but I'm not going to completely complain because people are pretty solid with Nock. She's a silent motherfucker. She can hide from cameras. She can sneak up on you just like Cav can with absolute efficiency and just dome the hell out of you when you're not paying attention. And it just depends on who's playing Nock. That's why I'm not going to put her at the bottom rank. Whoever's playing Warden, they're probably going to be a bit dog shit, but when they're playing Nock, there is potential for them to actually bring something useful to the team, and that's why I'm going to put her at the why you playing them instead of the bottom tier. Now, the new operator, we're coming in with Ace. Ace, I think Ace is a must-have, in my opinion. All hard breaches are basically must-haves, if I'm going to be honest. Most of them are probably going to get up in that higher rank. So, I think Ace just brings a lot of utility. He has arguably one of the strongest weapons in the game, the AK-12. That thing absolutely mows through people, and if you can control it, I don't like versing it myself. It's a very good weapon, and he has hard breaching capabilities then, and he can basically open more walls than Thermite, if we're going to be honest. Obviously, Thermite makes bigger holes, but Ace has access to open 3 significantly decent sized holes, which is obviously one more than Thermite. So I think Ace definitely belongs at the top. No doubt he's a solid operator. So coming in next we have Alibi. Now I believe Alibi is she's got a really good weapon, but her ability is it's not really good. You know what? I think Alibi belongs at the I'll take it. Not sure I put Alibi last time. She's kind of like I definitely really like her gun. It's very powerful, but now that I've thought about it, I don't really play her anymore because her ability is pretty fucking useless. Doesn't really bring any utility to the team. It's just, it gives away someone's position if they're lucky enough to shoot it. I'd say the best way to play Alibi is to just lob them in front of a window, and when they start opening the barricade, they'll just ping them. It gives you intel on who they're playing, and that's about it. It doesn't really benefit your team at all unless you are a very aggressive player, because most of the time when someone shoots an Alibi, especially if they are outside like I was saying before, they're not really going to be in your line of sight to actually kill them. So I just think Alibi's kind of just an I'll take it operator. So coming in next we have Amaru. Now Amaru recently has received a buff. It's not that recent anymore, but she has the ability to just do a lot more now. When she goes through a window, her gun's instantly out, and you've been seeing a lot more pick rates for Amaru. But I still believe just the ability she brings, it's cool and all, but it's not really beneficial at all. So that's why I'm going to put her at the why you playing them. Most of the time when you see an Amaru, it's when you're 3-0 up and someone just feels like rushing to send it. And if you do see an Amaru sending it at any other stage, they might get one kill and then just die. So every Amaru just plays like an absolute schizo, and they just try to abuse the ability and think they're going to get an ace rush, but most of the time they just get shut down before they even get in the window, which makes it very difficult for anyone to actually utilize this operator properly, because obviously her intention is to just rush the hell out of people. So there's not much we can really do about Amaru, and I'm going to put her at that tier just because of that. So coming in next we have Bandit. Bandit is a must-have. That's my opinion. He's definitely a must-have. I'll stand by this till the end of time. He counters all hard breaching, basically. Obviously, Thatcher counters him, but having him basically just makes it a little bit of a problem for a hard breacher, which is very useful on a lot of objectives, which really comes in handy. He has access to the MP7, a really strong SMG. This thing absolutely mows, and it's just a really solid weapon, and yeah, that's about all I have to say. I don't really have much to say about Bandit. It's pretty self-explanatory. The anti-hard breach plus the absolutely insane weapon, it just pairs up for absolute godliness, and that's about all I have to say about Bandit. Coming in next, we have Blackbeard. Blackbeard, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Blackbeard. I think I'd say I'll take it. He's only got 20 bullets in his magazine, which makes it very difficult to use his gun unless you are a beast. And most of the time when Blackbeards play, they sit on a rappel, so the bullets don't really matter. But it's the low magazine size, it's an alright ability. It's very annoying to verse, but it's not overpowered. Like you can definitely utilize your surroundings and just clap a Blackbeard if you're smart. You just have to think about it in the time and play it right. I'd just say he's about an I'll take it. I think he's about a mid-tier operator, and that's where I'm putting him on this list. Coming in next, we have Blitz. Blitz, again, I'm not really sure. Blitz is I'd probably take a Montang over a Blitz in terms of support. Blitz is usually just rush. Yeah, I think Blitz deserves it the why you're playing them. Blitz gets banned a lot because no one wants to verse Blitz, obviously, but the problem is, it's just, when you think about it, he's not really that good. Like, his shield is good. He's not the easiest to play against, but like he doesn't really bring much utility to a team because you can't really play with a Blitz. Blitzers just play on their own basically. So most of the time if you see a Blitz, they're going to play very selfish. They're probably going to rush. They're not going to play with the team. That's why I say Montang's a better shield. But yeah, it's just I'm just going to say why you're playing them if I see a Blitz. Coming in next, we have Buck, and I think Buck pretty correct. In my opinion, some of you guys may disagree with me. I think Sledge is the superior to Buck because Sledge has the frag grenades. Obviously, Buck can shoot through the floor, and Sledge has the easier Sledge has the easier gun to control, and that's kind of just the two things that make Buck, I think, a lower tier than Sledge. I could just put them both at the must-have because obviously the floor destruction from below is very unique to Buck, and he's very useful in that sense. But I'm not sure. I just don't see myself using him, and I don't know. I do play Buck sometimes, actually. I'll go back on that statement, but I just prefer Sledge, in all honesty, in my opinion, so I'm going to put Buck the tier below, but he is still a great operator to bring to the team, and having his weapon is very powerful if you can control the recoil. The skeleton key is very useful in gunfights and in floor destruction, soft floor destruction, and just all around he's a great operator, but I think he's just a little bit inferior to Sledge. Next up, we're going to have Castle. Now, Castle is a very interesting operator. Castle can be very effective, but you have to have communication with your team. If you don't have communication with your team, Castle is basically just useless. He's just going to put castles down on a random-ass wall, and it's just going to be it's just probably going to stitch you up, especially if you're a roamer. When you're trying to come back to site and the whole objective just castled, which is another downfall of Castle. So, I think Castle would sit about in the middle of these two if I had a tier there. But I think in terms of when I play with castles, it's most of the time it's out of communication. I'm gonna say, why are you playing them? It's just castle. Like, his weapon's kind of meh in my opinion. It's not the greatest weapon, but it's not a horrible weapon either. His super shot, he does bring a lot of usefulness to the team, and I'm glad they did give Castle that little buff. But his ability is just kind of just a stitch up, in all honesty. Most of the time it keeps the defenders out instead of the attackers, and when you're trying to retake a site and there's a castle on the wall, you might as well just give up, because as soon as you start ripping that castle down, you're going to have 5 line of sights aiming at your head. So there's not really much you can do, and I think Castle's a little bit of a downfall in that, so I think he belongs at that spot. Now, I'm just going to make this real quick. This is going to be a really quick one. Clash is what rank is this? If I see a Clash, I'm just going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You absolutely useless prick. That's about all I have to say. I really hate Clash, in my opinion. You guys might flame me in the comment section down below. I don't know, but I'm just going to make this really quick. If you play Clash, I'm going to ask what rank is this. Coming in next, we have Doc. Doc, I think he's definitely the superior ACOG. He's a must-have. I think he's one of the best anchors you can bring to the defensive side. He has one of the only people who, other than Finka, but she's on attack, the only defender that has access to actual stimming and restoring health on the defensive side, which can be very useful in basically every situation. You can stim yourself, which gives you the ability to play a little bit more aggressive, because you can obviously get your health back. And he has one of the best weapons on defense, the MP5. He's just an all-around great operator, and I'm going to stand by that one for a long time. Unless they take the ACOG off Doc, he's going to be powerful for a long time. I've said that twice now, but I'm just trying to reinforce my point. I think he definitely belongs at the top tier spot, and he is just an all-around great operator, and he deserves to be at the top of the tier. Coming up next, we have Dockerby. I think Dockerby is alright. Her gadget's okay, but no one really uses her due to the fact that she lacks a fully automatic weapon. She only has the marksman rifle, DMR, whatever you call it. That I'm not sure what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. And then she does have the great secondary loadout with the SMG-12 and the I can't remember its name either, but you know what I'm talking about if you do somewhat play this game. I'm sorry, I can't think of that off the top of my head, but the SMG-12 and the other semi-automatic, fully automatic, pistol that she has access to, but the lack of a full primary weapon kind of brings her down. She only has the BOS-G and the marksman rifle, so I think if I see a Dockerby, I'll just say I'll take it. She's not horrible, but she's not good either, so she's kind of just like a mid-tier, and yeah, that's about all I have to say. I've basically already listed her gadget's also alright, giving away locations, really helpful for roam clear, but obviously there's superiors like Jackal, etc. Coming up next, we do have Finka. I believe Finka is about, I don't really know where I'd put Finka. I think she's an alright operator, but I just don't see, her guns are mid. Her ability is alright, but it's basically very useless unless you have I don't know. I can't really explain Finka. I'm not really sure where I'd put her. I'd say she's pretty cracked. Like, all around, she's an alright operator. She's got great weapons. She has a good ability, but I don't know. I think Finka should go at, I think I'll put her at I'll take it. I'll put her at I'll take it. That'll have to do for Finka, and yeah, I don't really know. That'll have to do. So coming in next, we do have Yana. Now, Yana, I'm not really sure about Yana. She's kind of like a, she's just a weird operator. Her ability's alright, her guns are alright, but that's about all. Honestly, if I see Yana, I'm gonna be like, why are you playing them? Yana just brings not really much to the team. Her drone really doesn't really do much, or her gadget, sorry, not her drone. And that's, yeah. I'm a little bit lost to words at the moment. Like, I just don't really know what to say about Yana. She's kind of like, her guns are good. Her ability is alright, but in all honesty, no one plays her because her ability is only alright. It doesn't really bring anything to the team. It just kind of makes the defenders shoot a few bullets. You can't really utilize it, like, to the way everyone thought you could at the start of the game, when she first came out. Sorry, and yeah, I just don't see her being any better than why you're playing them. All right, so coming in next, we do have Frost. Frost, she has a great 9mm weapons, 9mm C1, I think it's called. She has the Super 90, two really solid weapons in my opinion. She has a pretty solid Frost Trap. That was my speaker. Ignore that. She has a pretty solid weapon. I don't know why I keep swallowing. I apologize, guys, but she has a pretty solid weapon in the not weapon, sorry, gadget. I'm lost at the moment, but she has a really good weapon. Oh my god, really good gadget. Her gadget is the ability to put a welcome mat down, and when a defender jumps in, it's just going to completely body them, and they're going to be instantly injured, where Frost can utilize this and get the kill. I really like this gadget that Frost brings to the team, and yeah, she's just, all around, she's a pretty solid operator, but I wouldn't put her any higher than I'll Take It. I think I'll Take It is right about where she belongs, and that's why I'm going to put her on this list. Alright, so next up we have Fuse. Fuse, I don't really know where I put Fuse. I think he has access to the AK-12, which is one of the reasons Ace is at the top spot. But I don't know, Fuse is just kind of like his ability's alright, and actually, a recent buff he's getting, he gets 4 cluster charges. I'm not really sure what I'd do with him. I think I could put him at the I'll Take It. I think I'll Take It is where he belongs. I wouldn't say he's pretty cracked. He's pretty overall a solid operator, but I don't know, I don't see him any higher than I'll Take It, I think. There's not really anything that makes him outstanding, which is what the top 2 tiers are meant to be. Like something that makes him unique and powerful. But yeah, his cluster charge is obviously a pain in the ass, but it's very easily counterable. And I just think he deserves about the I'll Take It. So coming in next, we have Glaz. Now, Glaz, what rank is this? Majority of the time when you see Glaz, it's usually someone getting auto-picked. No one really plays Glaz intentionally anymore on any map, even if it's a long-range map where you have a peak where you can sit outside. If someone is to do that, which is very rare, they're going to play Karli. Karli is just a superior at the moment. She has more of a zoom. She has just a more powerful gun, sorry. Glaz has just been whacked down already from what he already was, which was pretty low. So Karli's just completely bodied him out. And if I see a Glaz, I'm going to ask what rank is this, because no one really plays Glaz intentionally. And I just get completely skitzed out when I see a Glaz personally myself, because it's kind of just a useless pick. Because when you're going up against assault rifles, SMGs, bloody pistols even, the sniper rifle is not really going to help you out, or the marksman rifle, or whatever it is. It's not really going to help you out in those situations. So I think Glaz deserves the bottom of the tier. Now, Guile. Guile has received a lot of nerfs. He has access to the Vector, which is a solid weapon on Mirror, but on him, where you can't, the Vector's alright. There's nothing wrong with the Vector, and his other weapon is that semi-automatic shotgun with an ACOG that I have no idea what its name is, but I'd say his ability is where it really brings him down. He used to have access to 3 Guile shields, which are Vulcan shields where you put down, you shoot them, and they explode. Really, the only time he's ever useful is late round pushes. Most of the time they get shot before that anyway by like an Ashe or Sophia. Anyone who can just completely body them, they're gone by like the mid phase of the round at least. And then now they've nerfed him down to only having 2 Guile shields. I just don't really see him as anyone really good. If I see a Guile, why are you playing them? That's about all I have to say about Guile. He's really been nerfed to the ground a little bit. The Vector's alright, that's probably the only good thing about his loadout, but obviously the Vector isn't the easiest thing to control either, and it takes a little bit of practice to get used to, so I'm sure most of you guys probably don't play Guile anyway, so yeah, I think I'd say, why are you playing them? Coming up next, we have Habana. Now, Habana has access to she's a hard breacher, so she's obviously going to be a top tier operator in my opinion. I think all hard breachers are top tier. Her gun is really good, but the only thing that brings it down is the fact she only has 20 bullets in it. That's a little bit difficult and makes it a little bit more, I don't know, difficult again to use. So I don't know. The bearing is still a great weapon overall. Not the bearing, the Type 89. The bearing is a great secondary as well, giving she has a really good loadout. Her ability is great for hatch denial, but obviously Thermite and Ace are probably the better hard breach on walls, but because she's like more unique to the hatch play, I'd say she's a unique operator in her own sense, and I'd say Habana is basically a must-have operator. The only thing that kind of brings her down, and maybe might have put her in pretty cracked, is the fact her main gun only has 20 bullets in it, which can be very difficult to control because you'll run out easily. But other than that, I'd say she's a pretty top-tier operator. I think she belongs at the top. Coming in next, we have IQ. Now, IQ has one of the greatest loadouts in the game, in my opinion. All three of her guns are great in their own way. I personally use the G8, and let me know down below what gun you use on IQ, because I'd be interested to know. But I'd say her ability is alright, but it's not really top tier. I think she belongs at the pretty cracked position, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just the thing that brings her down. Her gadget's really useful, but there's obviously way better alternatives like Thatcher, Twitch. You can actually destroy the gadget and not have to get into a line of sight above it where it's not really in the way. Unlike Thatcher and Twitch, where you have to, like, if you want to destroy a gadget, a useful gadget with IQ, you have to either go above or below it to, like, snipe it through a floor. And obviously you can't do that on every map, or you actually can pretty much. There's always going to be somewhere below or above, but whether it's destructible or not, whether all that, the thing that makes up for it is her loadout. If she didn't have her loadout, I'd probably put her at about the I take it. But she is a great fragger. She's a great support fragger. That's probably her best role. And yeah, other than that, I'd say IQ definitely deserves pretty cracked, but I wouldn't say she's top tier. Coming up next, we have Jager. Now, without any further ado, I don't know if some of you disagree with me there, but he's a must-have. He still is a great operator, even though he's 2-speed. He has one of the best weapons on defense with the 416 carbine. He has a great gadget that you can put down, and basically all of your utility is getting used no matter what, whether you're on or off side, because you put the gadgets down early, which will completely disrupt the majority of throwable objects if you put them in the right positions, and you can really disadvantage a team by using one of these. And it just, along with this, I've already said this, but the 416 carbine, that thing's an absolute beast. Plus the fact that Jager's, yeah, it's just the gun, the play style, and the utility that you can have even when you're not there is just all around mixes together to a great operator, and no doubt he deserves to be at the top of the tier. Now coming up next, we have Karli. Karli, any sniper rifle operator, in my opinion, is pretty average. There's nothing really special about them. There's nothing really great about them, but I don't know, they're just, Karli's obviously better than Glaz, but it's just still a sniper operator. So honestly, if I see a Karli, I'm probably going to say, why are you playing them? Because having that type of utility letdown in having a sniper instead of an automatic weapon is kind of, it's not really helpful. She does have access to Clash's little semi-automatic pistol now, fully automatic pistol. I don't know why I keep saying semi-automatic. Fully automatic pistol that Clash had in her secondary, which has improved her a lot because she now has access to a proper secondary weapon that's actually solid and has a sight, which you can use at long range if you dare to, but I still believe she's kind of like just a boring operator. She's not really any useful at all. Her ability is an I did forget about her ability, actually. She has ability to destroy bandits and stuff, but it has a very small range, and obviously, if you play Karli, you're only doing it because Thatcher's banned, so I don't know. I'll just be like, I'll either say why you're playing them, or I'll take it, depending on the situation, but if I'm going to think about generalization, I'd say why are you playing them. Now, coming in with Ashe. Now, this might be a little controversial one. I'm not really sure what you guys are going to say about this one. Some people think she's the best of the best. Some people think she's absolute dog shit. Some people think she's in between. Me, personally, I'm just going to get this out of the way real quick. She's not a top tier, but she's pretty cracked. She has access to a really good weapon, the R4C. The G3 is just as good in my opinion. She also has access to, what else does she have access to? Her breaching round, which is her ability. But really, all this does is breach soft walls. It's cool and all, it helps you rush, but it's really not the greatest. It's obviously infuriated by, I don't even know if that's a word, infuriated by Sophia in my opinion, but yeah, in all honesty, I think she's the second best. She's one of the best fraggers, but she's not the best fragger. I'll get to that later, but yeah, I just think all around she's pretty cracked, but I wouldn't say she's a top tier operator, especially with the loss of her ACOG and the R4C. That took away a lot of power that the R4C had, because obviously had range as well as easy recoil and OP weapon. Now she just has easy recoil and OP weapon. She still has, you can still play range obviously with a holo, but not as good as an ACOG. And yeah, I don't know. I think Ashe just kind of lost a little bit of utility over the times. I probably would have put her pretty cracked like 2 years ago when all I was just getting slammed by Ashe mains. But at the moment, I'd say she's not the top of tier, but she's still really good. Coming up next, we have Lion. Now, Lion, I haven't really even seen this guy around in ages. His ability obviously was amazing when it first came out. It gave you a full ping of the defender. It full gave away like their full body, and it was like fully highlighted red. I don't know if you played the game when that came out, but that was pretty cool. Now it just gives a ping. And I don't know, it's alright, but most of the time you encounter a lion. I'd say the best way to utilize a lion is when you're legit full pushing very close to sight. You pop a lion, and then you know the defenders are planted and they're not going to be moving. And if you've already droned them out before you pop that lion, you basically know their areas already, and you can just pre-fire them and stuff. But other than that, he's not really... His guns are pretty good. It's pretty good, to be honest. It has a large magazine, does pretty good damage, and it's just solid. But his ability, I don't know. I think Lion's about I'll take it. I'd put him about the mid-tier. I think he definitely belongs somewhere in the above the trash operators, but I don't think he's anywhere near the top of the top. He's just an all-around about a mid-tier operator, and obviously that's where I think he belongs. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this part. The second part is going to be in the description as soon as it comes out, and if you guys are watching this straight before, so the 2 days before, it comes out on the 3rd of August, I think. Yeah, the 3rd of August. Sorry that I split it up into 2 parts. I just feel like some people's attention spans will not last 50 minutes, and I kind of wanted to just make it a little bit easier for you guys to watch, and so you don't waste as much time, I guess, or not waste, but use as much time of just watching a big video, so hopefully splitting up into 2 parts is a little bit better. And if you do choose to watch it all in one, that's what the 2 parts will be there for once they're both up. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.